All right, so thank you all for being here tonight. Thanks for joining us for our first meeting of 2023. We're pretty excited for this year, and so excited to share some updates with you tonight and maybe tell you a little bit about what we're hoping to do this coming year.
I'd like to start with a quick round of introductions. We're all here to listen to Lucina Vidari, who is the descendant of the last chief of Marin, Chief Unisha. And so we'll be hearing from her very soon. And she's also the founder of the Coast Miwok Monument Project. She'll tell you all about that soon. This is Harry, and I'm Skylar. I'd like to start with some quick land acknowledgements. And if you wouldn't mind just hopping in the chat and letting us all know where you're calling in from, doing your own little virtual land acknowledgement as we get started here. We're here speaking about the traditional territory of the Coast Miwok and what is present day Marin, California, United States of America. The Coast Miwok have called this area home since time immemorial, and we're so grateful that Lucina is fighting so hard to continue on her cultural legacy. Harry and I are calling in from very far away, so thank you, technology, for enabling us to do so. We're up here actually in Alberta, Canada, Treaty 8 and Métis Nation Alberta Region 3. And this is the traditional homelands of the Métis and also the Cree and Dene peoples who have again called this land home since time immemorial. Very grateful to be here, very grateful to be virtually in the traditional homes of the Coast Miwok. I'd like to pass it to Lucina to introduce herself if she's ready.
There. Hello, hi everybody. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi. Trying to fix my screen. So thank you for coming and welcome, Alyssa. I see you there. Alyssa is our newfound family. She is Coast Miwok descendant.
Nice.
Yes, and from Tesupi, which is some of you might be familiar with that name, Tesupu. I'm sorry, she's got her mute. You got your mute on, but it's a little hard to pronounce at times. But we just met, I think, a couple of maybe 3 weeks ago or within that, and I'm blown away by the stuff that she is bringing forth, documentation, it sounds like, pictures that we haven't seen of the Coast Miwok, just a wealth of knowledge and contribution to what we don't have much of, which is, documentation and all that stuff. So it's really exciting to see you here. We actually had I think we had about 20 or 30 people that were registered, but there might have been trouble getting in or whatever. So, whatever. But this one is, this meeting is I'll tell you a little bit about my project, and then it's, hopefully we'll get a couple of documentaries out of it. So we'll see. I'll go ahead and jump right into my PowerPoint. Today I kind of scrambled together and put something together so that you can easily understand who we are and what we're doing. So I'm going to do the share screen and the PowerPoint, and hopefully this all works well. We'll see. Okay, first glitch. Here we go. So I'm going to go slideshow, and this is the problem I had last time. There's okay. All right. Okay, so is everybody's screen up and going? All right, so if you have questions, feel free to write them down, and we'll answer them. We can stop and answer them while we have the presentation, or we can do them after, either way. Basically, I wanted to say, first of all, thank you so much for giving up your Friday evenings to visit us and, find out what we're about. I wanted to say thank you to Harry and Skylar, who worked so hard to help these events and monitoring the Facebook event page and monitoring Eventbrite and running the Zoom. It's just been really helpful, and I really wanted to thank them. And they're special people who came around a few years ago, and I'm really grateful that our paths met. And I also want to thank Will and Karen, Will is an artist, and they have worked really hard with me over the last few years on the projects. We had, the couple of maquettes that we're making for the project, and it's really wonderful. And Will is really talented, which you'll see. So I just wanted to thank them too. I don't think Will's here yet, but I just wanted to put that on the record. So my name is Lucina Vidari, founder of the Coast Miwok of the Southern Marin Project, and great granddaughter of Camille Unicia, which Skylar was mentioning before, one of the last chiefs of Marin County, probably the last chief. We are a nonprofit to aid in the preservation of the native culture in Marin County and to assist in being a voice for the present day Coast Miwok, which we're finding out we have more and more. So we're really excited about that. Just to give you a little timeline here, in 2018, we came up with the idea. In 2019, we started promoting our first maquette, which was a family. Some of you may be familiar with it. We can explain more later. In 2020, we created the nonprofit. And in 2021, we participated in many events around Marin County, rallies and stuff, just basically for cultural, awareness and diversion. And in 2022, we came up with a new idea for a new dancer, which is statue maquette, which is what this meeting is about. And so in 2023, we're here now, and we're basically at the place where we are introducing the new maquette. Again, Camille Unicia was born in Marin in 1803, and he died in 1856. He was the head man at Alompoli, and he had two daughters, Maria and Maxima Unicia. And he was also a mission Indian. They called him mission Indian. So these are his daughters, Maxima and Maria Unicia. My great-great-grandmother is on the right. And it tells the time they were born. Our family heritage is at Alompoli State Park in Novato. Our family can be traced back thousands of years at Alompoli in Novato. And then I won't read this and bore you to death, but basically, I'm not bore you, but I mean, basically, there's a lot of writings out there on the Coast Miwok. And so if you kind of peck around, you can actually, if I clicked on any of these, they're all links, and, they can really give you some idea on the Coast Miwok. On the left-hand side, you'll see a little map, and it gets blurry. We also have Coast Miwoks are very well known for their beautiful baskets. They have so many beautiful baskets, and for their jewelry work. You don't happen to have baskets, Alyssa, do you? Or no? Okay, all right. Well, we do. So we have this. This is what we inherited from the Coast Miwok heritage. It belonged to Maria Unicia, which was the picture I just showed you. And it was a gift to her as young girls, as they were given to them at a very young age to learn how to carry, the basket on their back and how to be familiar with it. So the basket was never really used. It's around 170 years old. And I also believe that it was stored in a closet, of my great-great-grandmother and then my grandmother, because it is in mint condition. It's never been used or played with or anything. It's really in good condition. So that's what I think is that and it is in my closet to this day. So It's just a treasure, hopefully, if things turn out right in Marin and we have a cultural center or a museum for the Miwoks, that's what I have my eye on, because I think it would be wonderful to be able to share it with everybody in Marin County. So, okay, so, I just jumped right in there. This is our maquette. This is our newest addition to the family. And this was produced by Will Petit. He has an art studio in Monterey. And so basically, if you can picture this larger than life, isn't that beautiful? The detail. Oh, I think it's just so beautiful. Will did a really nice job. We have another maquette too. It's a family, but we decided we wanted a traditional dancer. And so this is what he came up with, and he put a lot of time into researching what the various feather symbols mean, what the jewelry means. There's not a lot of documentation on Coast Miwok. Maybe Alyssa might have something in her stuff on that. That would be a wonderful contribution. Because there's just not a lot written on it. I don't know how to zoom it out. Oh, there we go. That's one that, where'd it go? Uh-oh, it disappeared. Okay. That one's pretty nice. That's amazing. It's really nice. Now, this is a maquette. So it's about, I don't know how many, 18 inches, I think. And I actually will be picking it up tomorrow. He made it out of epoxy so that I can basically carry it around Marin County and have gatherings and show it to businesses. And I mean, it's the first and only Coast Miwok statue. There's no, documentation anywhere of another Coast Miwok statue that I know of. So, I mean, the detail on it is just, yeah, it's really beautiful, huh? Yeah. Yeah. I think
It's just incredible. I like how in every view it looks like a whole new statue.
yeah. I have trouble making it small. There we go.
That's so amazing, Lucina.
So,
And we know how much time those feathers in the grass took him.
the feathers, what? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. We know how much time it took him to do the feathers in the grass. It's just amazing.
I mean, we came up with this at the beginning of the year of 2022. And so he really took his time and really, researched. And we hope to have a few statues in Marin County documenting the Coast Miwoks, or even in Petaluma and up, north a little bit. Why not? Why not? And the reason, we did it because, like I said, in Marin County, the history was almost buried a few, 15 years ago or so, or 20 years ago. I mean, it was really, not known much about. And so things are turning around though. There's been a revitalization and awareness that has came around Marin County, people doing land acknowledgements, involved in our projects. I've already have people that have stepped up since I've sent this picture out to a couple of people. I have people wanting to help me write grants now in the last couple days, proposals to the different cities. We're going to have to write, unless we have it on private property. I'm sure we're not going to have a hard time finding a home for this statue. It's just going to be so beautiful. Don't you think? I mean, I'm just really excited. It's
Yes.
he really, yeah. He really put a lot of work into it. Just to let you, okay. So Will's not here, I guess. So I was going to say, no, he's not here, right? Right. Okay. So just to let you know a little bit, it says here, how do I get back? Okay. It says the most important articles on the dance costumes were the feather plumes, the flicker feather headband, the magpie feather crown, and the feather skirt. With these were used certain auxiliary items such as paints, earplugs, nose sticks, bead necklaces, and belts, clouts, and skirts. And also there were objects carried by the dancers, such as feather ropes worn by women, and the beads and arrows, feather sticks, imitation bear claws carried by men. So all parts of the regalia, the costume has meaning and deep meaning to the Coast Miwok. Every part of it, every feather, every ornament, every bead. It says here that the music consisted of accompanied by foot drum and the split stick clapper rattle. How many of you heard the clapper rattle? Nobody?
No.
Okay. No? Okay,
I may
no.
have, I'm not sure. I've heard
Okay.
Native American music
Music,
places.
right. The Miwok have their own style. They really do. The Miwok and the Pomo. They're very similar, the Miwok and the Pomos, because they're neighbors. And so a lot of people have Coast Miwok and Pomo, in them. So because we were neighbors, but the slapstick and the clapper rattle is their way of music, and it is pretty unique in the United States compared to other areas. And the bone whistle, which is made out of bone. So um, I I have sometime maybe next meeting, I'll have to get a sample to show you because it's really beautiful. It's different. It's really different. And it's really beautiful. I just wanted to show you that, I didn't necessarily want to take you here, although I can, but this is a link to, I didn't mean to do that. The link just really goes in depth about the the outfit and what they all mean. I was trying to get to, hold on one second, because maybe not. Okay, no. No. All right, slideshow from current slide. Okay, so I was trying to get you, I thought I could take you right there to that link, but I can actually send it to anybody that would like it after the meeting. I'll send you a copy of the link. It's really well written about the costume and about what every little piece means. It's just really well written.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and again, now this is Yosemite. The Miwok were very widespread. They go Coast Miwok, Yosemite Inland, Lake County Miwok. They're just a very large population. So a lot of the literature in Marin County, since it was only a matter of 20 years when the pioneers came, it was a matter of 20 years before the Miwoks disappeared, kind of, out of the county. They moved them up north to Hopland. They moved them, I'm not sure what they did with the Petaluma in that area, Miwoks. I'm not sure if they, I think that they tried to provide even land for them, I believe, in different parts of the county, in Sonoma County. So in Marin County, basically when they got there, I mean, Marin County being what it is, it's very beautiful. And so the Coast Miwoks, they died of illnesses. They were, they had a little trail of tears that I know of in my family from Alompoli to Hopland in about 1860, 1870. And they gathered up as many Coast Miwoks as they could. And they all took a road hike to Hopland. So, so as far in the early 1900s, I mean, there was less than a handful of Coast Miwoks. And even myself, in the 30 years ago, I used to ask a lot of people, have you know the history here, and have you heard of Coast Miwoks, and have you met another Coast Miwok? And I can tell you 100% never met another Coast Miwok. So, that's what that tells you a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
they just, so that's kind of what made me decide I had to do something, and so we came up with the project, and here's another example of their costume. You can see the willow bark, the flicker feather, the headdress, the wands come out. They're very unique as well. The Coast Miwok really have a unique style as far as the dress. The grass, they have a Polynesian influence. I mean, you know, a lot of times we say that's how they first got there, was migrating from South America and Polynesian islands and the Bering Strait. So, and combined, they became Pomo and Coast Miwok and all the other California tribes that we have. And so all of the tribes actually are very similar. And the Coast Miwok has a very, very big influence of the Polynesian dress.
Wow.
You know, you can tell by this grass skirts right here. Kind of like Chumash, they actually have proven that the Polynesians came over on a boat. And I don't know if they found the boat or how they've proven that, but they actually have it documented that they
Hmm.
came in a big wooden hollowed tree or boat.
Wow.
So, so there's all up and down California, there's a big, you know, Polynesian influence in the way that their costumes are made of.
Hmm.
Now, this is an older one. Whoops. Here's another one. Okay, kind of blurry. I couldn't get it to not be blurry, but it kind of gives you an idea again of the feathers coming out of the head, sticking up there, and the costume that they wore. And they always had feather grass skirts, usually, or even not feather or grass skirts is what they wore. And this one's feather. The last one we saw, I think, was the grass skirt. So
Amazing.
this is one of the oldest pictures that we have, one of the only ones. I believe they are Coast Miwok, and I believe it. I mean, when you do a search, you know, you'll always come up with this picture, and this is one of the only ones that I know of where they actually are in the Coast Miwok regalia. You know, and they're children. I'm not sure who they are, but I do know that it comes up under Coast Miwok, you know, and it says they're Coast Miwok. And again, I believe we have the Polynesian influence there on the skirt and the jewelry. And I can't tell what they're really wearing on their head. Whoops. So, but you can kind of see the facial features as well. You know, they had the dark skin like the Pomo and California natives did. Um, and they were very big at one time, especially in Marin County. They trampled a lot of hills, and so they were fit. They were very fit. This is another example. The Miwoks, a lot of California tribes actually have I'm not sure what it's called, the band that goes across the front,
Wow.
and I believe those are made of the flicker feathers, and they have a lot of meaning, the bands across the front, and it covers their eyes usually. And so now we have our statue that covers that has the band on it.
Wow.
So
Hmm.
this is another old picture, kind of giving you an idea of you know, the costumes have changed a little bit, but a lot actually. But that's another nice old picture of California. It's either Coast Miwok or Pomo. So, and again, this comes up, this is under Coast Miwok. So this is more modern day powwows. And by the way, for those of you that are in Marin County, they are having a powwow in March in Fairfax.
Wow.
First one to celebrate Coast Miwok.
Great.
But it's good. Yeah, they'll have people from all over, but it said first annual Coast Miwok dance powwow. So that's real exciting. First one in Marin County. So, and this is what you'll see, dancers who dance in, you know, dance in celebration of their heritage and celebration of their ancestors, and, you know, in celebration of life and everything that they have learned and that it means to the Native American and that it means to the Coast Miwok. A lot of this traditional ways and thoughts and philosophy has been lost in my family, unfortunately. I do have all the facts. I can give you birthdays. I can give you names and birthdays of everybody. I have the same list that Alyssa sent me, that same list of, we have the breakdown of our families of who is who. And so I can tell you all of that, but since they were not allowed to talk about it when they, after the Trail of Tears, they were not allowed to talk about it. And so they didn't. And that's why my ancestors they are in Victorian dresses. I thought I had, maybe I didn't put a whole picture here of them, I guess. But the ladies are wearing Victorian dresses, and these ladies are 100% Coast Miwok. So, but that's what they had to do at that time.
My family's the same.
Okay,
Mhm.
in Victorian in dresses.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see those pictures. Wow. I mean, and they couldn't talk about, that's probably why I don't know if you guys, still have the heritage and the customs and the traditions and I gather what we can from West Marin, Coast Miwok. There's a lot of tamales. Actually, they have a more documentation. They have a book, the book Maria Copa, than the Southern Marin. I descend from the Southern Marin, but the West Marin has a lot more. Still not a lot, but a lot more. They had the book of Copa Maria, Maria Copa, but they're just at that time they couldn't talk about it, and they couldn't. They didn't count, so so we just try to make you understand the urgency here. We cannot bury these people that were here for thousands and thousands of years and expect them to go away, and brush them under the carpet, which is what they've done essentially. And so, but we're bringing them back, we're bringing them out. So well,
Can I ask you a question?
yes, you can.
Do you have in this PowerPoint the picture of Maxima and Maria when they were really young?
I don't have it in this PowerPoint,
Okay.
but I have that.
Okay, well, I have a question about how they're dressed. They're dressed apparently kind of in a uniform. And I
Yeah.
wondered if they had to go to boarding school. Do you know?
Yes, I do know. I wish I can share that, but I don't know if let me see if I can figure it out. Oh, because I had it all here. Okay, I think I can do this. Well, the problem is, yeah, let me just, okay, here we go. Well, that's not the one you're talking about. You're talking about the ones, they were teenagers,
Yes.
and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They had on like black, looked like kind of sailor motif.
Yeah.
Full uniforms.
Mhm, right.
Yeah.
There's the,
Lucina,
I
we
kinda-
can only see the PowerPoint still. For the other photo, you might have to go share screen again and do your whole screen once you find it.
okay. Oh, okay. Oh, so you're not seeing what I'm doing?
No, just the PowerPoint still.
Oh, all right. Well,
Uh-huh.
good. Hold on then. Hold on 1 second then. Because I'm gonna Maria. Okay. It's a really interesting photo, with the one they're talking. Okay, I have it here. Let me see if I can. I don't know if I can even do this. I can try though. What
Yeah,
I
can you try
do is,
sharing your screen again? And
okay, all right. Hold on 1 second.
or you
Let me
could pull
see.
it into PowerPoint and that might work.
That's what actually I'm doing. Yeah.
nice.
All right.
There you go. Yeah.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So let me see, slideshow from current slide. Oh, all right. So oh, where'd it go? There it is. Oh, I just gotta quit clicking things. Because well, you barely touch it. All right. So basically, these girls, this was the one on the right is Maria Maxima, and the one on the left is, I'm sorry, the one on the right is Maria, the one on the left is Maxima. The one on the right is my great-great-grandmother. This picture was taken, I imagine, when she was 14 and her sister was maybe 16 or 17. And I'm not really sure why they have this, the sailor uniform. It's a sailor uniform.
Mhm.
And I don't know why they have it on. Maybe that was another attempt to, disguise the Native American. We can all, I got this picture from actually from the Willard side, which is Maxima's side. I got this picture from the person on the left, her grandchildren sent it to me, and I only got it like 4 years ago. I was so excited because it was the first picture I have of the girls when they were younger. It's the only picture I have, but it didn't have any explanation on it. It just it didn't even have their names, but I know who they are. You can tell by their faces and the way they're sitting and everything. Maxima was very protective of Maria. It did have I think it did have their name at one time. They knew who it was. They kind of knew the story of her, but they didn't know the person that gave it to me, but they didn't know a lot, and they inherited it from their father or whatever. And so this is a very interesting picture. I think it shows, to me, it shows peace, that they had a peaceful life, possibly, or happy life. To me, they look happy. They look content. These girls were not like, they were kind of privileged. They lived on a Lompoly, and Lompoly, their father inherited 8,000 acres. And so they were kind of well off, as far as that goes. But so they kind of were comfortable. And they actually, when they moved up to Hopland, they were comfortable for the rest of their life. They were actually well taken care of. So
Okay.
when they moved, you could see, I mean, yeah, they lived in one house for the rest of their life, and they were very well taken care of by their husbands up there. So, but if you look at the faces of when I showed you before, they're more angry. They're maybe in their 30s in that picture, 30s or 40, and you could see the difference between peaceful here and then the anger that they realized what all took place. I don't think they realized when they were this age that their culture was just about to was gonna be vanish. I don't think they realized it, right? So I think they were pretty content here. That's what this picture tells me, that they just didn't see what was coming. So do you have pictures like this, Alyssa, with them young or in costume, or?
Nothing like this, mostly in the Victorian type outfits or more common. My family in Bodega was very poor, which is very interesting now because I could never afford to live in Bodega as it is now. And it was just like 2 or 3 generations ago, still a poor area with a couple Native families there.
Yeah. You want to tell us a little bit about your background or what?
I can. I am a descendant of Tsupu. There's actually an article you can read about her online called The Last Woman of Petaluma, because most were driven out of that area. Yeah, it's a pretty sad story, that one. She had a few children, one with Tom Smith, who was her husband. I come from a line with much more trauma, because she did work as a maid for Stephen Smith, who was a colonizer from the East Coast. And my great, 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 great grandfather was the result of a non-consensual relationship between the two of them. And so, yeah, there's a lot of sad stories there.
Well, I think you have a lot of it documented from what I understand. And I think it's important that the truth get out there, um, you know, briefly. I mean, we don't have to, dwell on it or harp on it or whatever, but at least we can, that's why I try to at least get the truth out and, go from there, then we can celebrate. But they have to recognize that there was some turmoil and some, crazy stuff happening at that time. And, and this wasn't that long ago, the 1800, really wasn't that long ago. And it's getting more and more away from that time. And with every generation, I mean, I have 3 kids and 3 grandkids, and they're very busy, with, they have Pokemons to catch, and they're very busy. And so I don't see them taking this up. And I don't know about, I don't know the younger generation who's going to be taking it up and trying to carry it on, which is why it's important to leave, monuments and get into the schools and talk to the children and talk to, Marin County is really going at length now. They're really stepping up to the plate. They're really putting out an effort to recognize and include the Coast Miwok as part of their history. And I mean, it really is happening, and it's really exciting to see it all. So, so that's where we're coming from. Oh, questions. Okay. Yeah. Was there another question? Anybody? Okay. So, yeah. So that's it in a nutshell. I think anybody's here probably has been to my website, which is marinmiwok.com. I look forward to seeing Alyssa's Zoom on her family. I mean, what a better way to get it out there. You don't want to make, I don't try to go overboard, but it's just a great story to tell. And, yes, there's a lot of tragedy, but there's a lot of happiness too, there. So that should be shared. And, I just think that, time is just going to get better and better. And, since I've been in this group or this mission, I was having gatherings originally. I met actually Harry and Skylar at one of the gatherings. And actually the gathering that they were at was when the other guys who I connected Alyssa up with, Dean, and there's 4 guys that got together. They met there at the meeting and they got together and they formed the council, the Coast Miwok Council, and they're bringing the culture back. Those are the guys that have the culture. They have the dance. They're dancers. They're everything. They have everything. I mean, it's a dream come true to see them come in the picture and step up to the plate and want to be a part of educating people and showing people and bringing awareness. They all of them, they're just so basically, how the second maquette that we came up with is mainly for these guys. This is what they wanted. They wanted a dancer, and so we kind of just came up with it, and I hope they really like it. I don't even know if they've seen it yet. I mean, it's that fresh off the market, but I do hope they like it. I think they will. I mean, it's just, he did an amazing job. And the statue just really shows a lot of, movement and passion and, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I think he just really did an amazing job.
Yeah, he's very talented.
Yeah. Yeah. And I will have it in my hand. There's an event on Sunday that I'm invited to. And I'm going to bring it to the event. And I think that it won't take long for us to get a statue, and we could even, consider something for Petaluma and that area. I mean, I don't believe they have a statue up there, but I know Katati and all that area. There's people that are calling me that are trying to salvage the history of the Coast Miwok there. They're really desperately trying, and I think they're, I think just to have people fight for it is enough,
Mhm.
and so I think that it's not out of the question to get, and because that way, these things are going to last a long time, these bronze statues, right? And so you can have future generations, will have the knowledge of the people, and and also people tourists that come to town. Marin County has a huge tourist draw, especially Sausalito in that area. And what better way to greet them coming into Marin County with a statue of who was here first, and inspire people, inspire tourists, and inspire locals, and inspire old and young to go and Google it and find out who they were and what the stories are, and bring the culture back into the county. There's been a lot of changes over the last couple of years. They've even considered changing street names. There's been school name changes happening. There's just been a lot of stuff going on. And so, this statue kind of fits in right with all of that.
Right.
I think so.
So, Lucina, are you still up in the air about where the statue might be placed?
My first vote would be Sausalito. First of all, Camilo Unisha was born there. That's the Hoyman tribe. That's the tribe that we descend from. Plus, right where the ferries come in,
Yeah.
where they bring in all the tourists, or the Bay Bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge is right there, and they come over the bridge, where everybody can see it right away, right with high traffic, right? That's my first vote, right by the water, right?
Yeah.
But and they haven't slammed the door on my face. The city knows what I'm up to, and they've never, gave me the impression that they're not interested. And so, with this proposal, we'll see if they're interested. And if they're not, we could always put it on private property, or we could do that, go that route. Tiburon showed some interest. There's various counties that have actually showed an interest, or cities that have actually showed an interest. So I don't think finding a home for it is going to be any problem at all. So I think the biggest
Mhm.
challenge is getting the funding together for it all, which that's probably not going to even, I mean, so far in 3 years, I've raised almost or over $20,000 for this project. I'm serious about it. I'm not,
Yeah,
this
you
is
are.
not a fly by night thing. I'm serious. And I paid the artist, he's gotten around 15,000 for what he's done. And so, and I have other things on the project that I want to get to soon. There's a graveyard up in Hopland that needs to be just redone, just a
Rejuvenated.
makeover.
Yeah.
A makeover. Our ancestors have white crosses there, white crosses where they're for their tomb. No, we want pictures. We want, headstones with pictures, and so they know who was there. Not just, and the last time I was there, they didn't even have the crosses. They're bending over and falling apart, and the stuff was caving in. And so that's another project. My father actually left me a manuscript he spent quite a bit of his life doing quite a bit of research on the Coast Miwok. And I have all the manuscripts, so I have to document those, which is not easy. I have to type them, digitize them all, and then which there's thousands of pages, and then publish it. So that's another project. And with the statute, we have projects, and we are getting things done. We are making progress. It's just going to take some time. So
Right.
yeah. Did anybody else have questions? Or okay, so I imagine that we're gonna do these regularly, and they're getting easier. And so, just to basically keep people up on the progress. But my next mission is going to be, I'll be spending the next couple months writing proposals and grants with people on the statue, and taking it around to businesses. And really, I mean, I'm not, I love everybody's donations, but we really just want to get a couple of big chunks, instead of, making it drag out. So, and then after this one, then we can decide if we want to put another one somewhere, or where, or, so, let's get those Miwok spirits back to Marin County and north of Marin County, Sonoma County, Marin County and Sonoma, Lower Sonoma, I guess we could say, because it's mostly Lower Sonoma. So, but I just know if we did a DNA comparison with Alyssa, I'm sure that we would have a connecting ancestor in there. So No,
Do you have any Pomo as well?
I don't. Not that I know of. Not that I know of. From what I know, it's my family was in Alompoli for thousands of years, which is right borderline with the Pomo, actually. So, I consider Petaluma to be the borderline. So, it's possible. So, and they're so similar, but the language is completely different. Linguistically, there's no connection with the Pomo and the Coast Miwok. So that's interesting too.
My great 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 aunt Sarah is known to be the last fluent speaker of Coast Miwok, and there's actually recordings of her in the 60s and 70s speaking, and she sang a few songs. So there is records of that, which is pretty amazing.
Great grandmother. Great aunt, you said.
Great aunt. Yes,
great.
she was Tom Smith's daughter, actually.
Okay. Wow, what a treasure. Wow. See, I mean, if I would be so happy if these guys, which I think they will, get a cultural center and a museum that we can house some of this stuff. I have other artifacts too, plenty of them from Coast Miwok. I mean, we don't really have a Coast Miwok museum per se, so maybe they had like a cultural center / artifact place, maybe. I mean, there's not a lot of artifacts even left, really, but of the Coast Miwok, but they don't have a museum for the Coast Miwok in Marin County, which is kind of silly too. They have a Native American one, but it's not Coast Miwok. But they do kind of try to cater to Coast Miwok at that Native American Museum in Novato. So it's just, like I said, I mean, Karen actually has an interesting story, and I think then, unless we want to keep talking, we can, but Karen, tell them your story.
Yeah, I was about to take a documentary class at City College of San Francisco, but it didn't happen. But regardless, right before that, I was walking around with my dog in Sausalito and just ruminating in my mind if there was anything there that I could make a documentary about. And Lucina comes walking down a little path and says, "Oh, what a nice little doggy," and pets my dog. And then we started chatting, and she tells me that she just went to this bookstore to get some copies of an article that was written about her and how she's trying to do the statue. This was back when it was the first statue. Before the first statue, right? Yeah, like 4 years ago. And so
10 minutes. We had a 10-minute conversation.
Yeah. And I just got her name really. And I said, well, I'll get all the other information from the article. So then I stashed the article in a very special box where I save ideas that I love. And so finally, this semester, I'm taking the documentary class finally. So I pulled out that box and she was number 1 circled on it, and pulled it out and went looking for her and found her and asked her if she would like to have a short form of documentary, because she has a really nice long one on her website. But I thought, well, like one of the classes I just took, that the instructor was telling us how young people these days have very short-term, attention span for long documentaries like that, and that maybe I could put it into a nutshell, and the shortest form of it might be on Instagram, or a longer version, a 3-minute, 4-minute version of all this new development, plus maybe some stuff from the old documentary could be, like even on a community TV, which is about how long a long form PSA would be. And it would bring people's attention. And if nothing else, it would maybe be in the school film festival, and a large number of people would become aware of it that way in San Francisco. But there's people that go to City College in San Francisco that come from all over. So all over California, different counties and stuff. So, I just think it's another way of spreading the word. So that's what I hope to do. I hope to make a short form, 3-minute to 4-minute video documentary.
Yeah.
Inclusive of all the special things that are happening with the statue and with just finding the ancestors and raising awareness of we are on these ancient people's land,
Yeah, they were there for thousands of years,
Mm.
for thousands and thousands of years. I don't know if you realize, if everybody realizes that, but I mean, they go back. Right now, I think we're up to 13,000 years. A long time, but so so that was a chance encounter, and
Yeah.
she called me and she said, "Remember me?" No, you didn't say remember me. You said, "I ran into you," and I have a vague, memory of it, but I was really excited that day, and I was running all over Sausalito and, talking to people, and it was a news article about the first statue. So
Yeah,
I'm sure that.
it was right
Yeah.
here.
Oh yeah.
It's so falling apart. It's so old.
Wow.
But yeah. So
She went into the bookstore and got it. Yeah.
yeah, I did. I went and bought it.
And it's all about awareness. I mean, none of it's about me. It's all, I was actually lectured by my father on this all for so many years. And after he passed away, it was I kind of wanted to get away from it because I was kind of, and I did get away from it for a while. I actually donated a lot of my artifacts, the basket. I donated it to an archive in San Rafael, and I just wanted to go on, but then when I saw what was happening and when I realized what was happening, I took my stuff back, all of my artifacts. I got it all back, everything. And I said, I'm just going to take the reins and just go for it, and so it's been worth it. So, and then people I'm meeting, is amazing. The family, actually, there's a huge family that descend from Camillo as well. There's a huge family from Tesupu. There's a huge family with Will Smith. A lot of people, Tamales, Bodega Bay have somehow way more than the Southern Marin Coast Miwoks. So I'm not sure why, if there was if they got moved onto a rancheria. That was a question I had, was if they all got moved onto a rancheria or some city locally.
I'm not totally sure, but the Smiths, which is my lineage, did live on a rancheria, I believe.
Okay, like a reservation is what it is. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fancy term for a reservation, So, and they don't have the rancheria anymore, I don't believe. Yeah, so even though they got the land and they got to live on the land, somehow they still got it taken away from them one way or another. They came and reassessed the value. Camillo was granted 8,888 acres, and the tax guy came around and reassessed the value of the land, and of course he couldn't pay it. So the tax guy was so gracious to give him $5,000 for about 8,000 acres. So nice of him to do that, took a, I'm being smart, but I mean, he, it's like, so that's where we are. That's who we are. That's what we're doing. We're not going anywhere. And so, that's it in a nutshell.
Great.
So-
So Lucina mentioned, thank you so much for talking, Lucina. Lucina mentioned there are lots of ongoing projects. And so I'm just gonna put in the chat here, there's a link to Lucina's website where there's more information on the projects. There's a link to our fundraiser page for the Coast Miwok Monument Project if you want to share. And then I also included a link, to Will's studio page, just so you can check out and yeah, give our artists some clicks on his website.
Yeah, thank you for all that. Yeah. I was curious if I use any part of this presentation in the documentary, and it might be nice to include short little pieces of you guys talking. I wonder, are you amenable to that?
I am. Melissa, it's either a thumbs up or thumbs down. It's up to you, or
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. Do you need me to consult with you further on it, or
yeah,
you
we
trust
can.
me?
Well, I mean,
Or-
no, I
or
trust you. We, no, we-
you know their do you know all their information and stuff?
Yeah.
So that, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We're all good. Yeah, we'll just communicate and see what you come up with there.
Okay.
So I think there's a couple of documentaries, hopefully, that are going to be made out this evening, or this, video. So hopefully we did okay. We have a couple on our website. Actually, one of them is a short one, and actually it promotes the and that was less than 3 minutes, I think. It promotes the statue. It was done by Harry and Skylar here, and they did an amazing job. It's under the projects. They really did an amazing job. You have to go check it out. It's under projects on the website, and it's just a really amazing job they did. We didn't even know they were doing it. And that's the best way for me to do a documentary, is to not know that I'm doing a documentary. But and then the other one we have, they did it at Alompoli, and that one I wasn't so happy with, because you couldn't hear it well, and we were outdoors, and I don't know, it just
That's the one I saw. I thought that was
Yeah.
there were,
Did you like it?
I did. I just
Okay.
thought it was kind of long for a lot of people's attention. But I
Right.
watched it all the way through. But yeah,
Oh.
I realized, Skylar, I did see you in there. Weren't you in there?
Oh, no.
No, you weren't.
Nope.
Oh, there was a girl looked like you.
I think it would have been, and probably me.
No,
Maybe.
it wasn't you. She was
Oh.
asking you questions. You were sitting at a picnic
Oh, I
bench.
know who she was. Yeah, she was the one that was putting on the documentary. She was the girl that was interviewing. She was
Okay.
actually taking a class too on all that. And so anyways, yeah, so that's what we're doing. And that's we hope to just keep going, plugging away, and hope to have in-person gatherings. During all this, I managed to raise out $20,000 in the midst of a pandemic, which is kind of a miracle
Yes.
to me.
Yeah,
Because I was kind of counting on the gatherings to bring awareness and to, about the projects, but the gatherings weren't happening. Everything was shut down everywhere, and for the longest time. And so now I've already gotten maybe 5 calls for events, which I can't go to them all, but for events around Marin County that they're coming up with. Everybody's coming out, they're getting excited, and they're putting on events again. And so we're coming out again. And so we might be putting on gatherings possibly. We had a good one. The last couple ones we had were around 100 people at the gatherings. They were good turnouts, and they were really effective. I mean, so my hope is to have these gatherings and bring the maquette around, show the statue, and be able to, just get the awareness out there. So.
Mm.
Thank you all for coming on this Friday night. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate everybody's support. And I see Ken Wu here and Susan Schloss. I'm not sure who Susan is, but Ken is a pretty big advocate. I know that, and so I really appreciate it. He's waving. So, and yeah, we'll see where we can go with it all. So thank you all so much for coming. My information is posted up there if you need to get a hold of me. My phone number, my email, everything. So
Thank you so much. I just have been wanting to learn about what's going on for the Miwok community and history, and I'm really excited with all the work that you all are doing, and I'm going to stay in touch and see how I can support it.
Oh, wonderful. Are you in Marin or?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. I haven't seen your name before, I don't think.
Yeah.
So, wonderful. Well, welcome and thank you. And you reach out if you can,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, we're just, we're plugging along. So, thank you very much for your support.
Thank you. I will reach out, see how I can help.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. Yeah. All right. Well, I think on that note,
I want to commend you on your very nice PowerPoint too. It's very nice.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, I seriously threw that together today. It was
You did a good
from
job.
scratch.
I
Thank
like the
you.
colors of, the motif and the colors on the left here.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sometimes you work better that way under pressure and just
Yeah,
throwing things together, So, but I've tried to focus on the dancer costume. That's going to be my whole world for a while, to figure out what everything means. I want to know what it all
Yeah,
means in depth. I
yeah.
want to know,
Me
you
too.
know.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
study on that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. See what you come up with, and anything anybody else can contribute. We're open to it. I don't know if they have a lot of that on Alyssa in your documentation that you have on the costumes. I'm not, I just, yeah, I don't think so. So mostly pictures and the Smith family and what they did and the history and all of that. She's got a lot of stuff she's going to be bringing out. So yeah.
Are there any live people doing live dances these days?
The Coast Miwok?
Yeah,
Well, we have that one powwow coming up.
right, yeah,
So, and that's in Fairfax.
okay,
So that's in March. And I think it's in the blog section on my webpage. You
okay.
can find it in the blog section. And I'm sure we'll be posting it, as it gets closer. It's put on by the American Indian Alliance Group in Marin County,
Okay.
which is a group of Native Americans from all over the United States, but they are honoring the Coast Miwok. They're bringing
That's
they're
great.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
first
yeah.
and it's real exciting. They've never had a powwow in somebody just showed up and I don't know hi, hello, Jens. Yeah. Okay. My kids hate when they said, "Mom, don't put your eyes up to the camera like that." The boomer. Okay. I mean, I guess if there's no more comments or questions or anything, I think that we can wrap it up. Oh,
Yeah, I just want to find out, again, American Indian Alliance is who's putting on the powwow?
yes, I have your email. I will send you the
Okay.
information. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's I think because I don't know that the name is exactly right. It's
Okay,
it's in Santa Fe, American Alliance Indian something.
okay.
So yeah, so they've been around for quite a while, but they haven't had any Coast Miwoks in their group that I
Right.
know of, except for I believe actually I take that back. Sky might be, not Skylar, who we have here. Yeah, Sky.
Webb.
Sky Road Webb, who's another Coast Miwok. Actually, he's more of a relative of Alyssa. I believe he's a descendant of Susupu and Tom Smith and all of that. So, but he, yeah, so he was in that group, I believe. I don't know if he still is. So we even have, I'll tell you one last note, the Novato Museum, the American Indian Museum in Novato, the board used to be all I hate saying the word white, but they were white, and a girl, an administrator took over about 2 or 3 years ago, and there's about 4 or 5 Native Americans, Coast Miwok, the tribe up north, the tribal council, there's one from them. They have about 4 or 5 people now on the board that are Native American. So that's a huge step in the right direction, so yeah.
All right.
So I think we're done here.
Okay.
If there's no more comments or questions, doesn't sound like you want to go, Karen. She doesn't want to go. You don't look like you want to leave.
No, I know. I'm trying to copy all the chat.
All right, because it's www.marinmiwok.com is the website.
No, I was trying to copy and paste everything in the chat, but
the
it's not working.
chat.
Yeah, it's not
Oh.
working.
Oh,
I just,
okay, maybe.
I selected everything and went to paste it, but it just pasted one
I think
line. So.
we might have a copy
Oh.
of the chat, and so we can always send
Oh.
that to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
I didn't even realize there's a chat going.
Yeah.
Lots of links flying around.
Okay. Yeah, oh, so we can have a copy of that because we're gonna have a copy of this event as well on YouTube, possibly,
right.
you know,
Right.
right.
Great.
So, you know,
I did
so-
record the event, so I hope it took. A little red light was flashing like it was recording, so we'll see.
If it didn't, I think I have a copy of it as well, so I can always send
Great.
it through to you.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So can I give you my email?
Yeah.
Okay, it's KABECIO
Mm-hmm.
at yahoo.com.
Okay. KABECIO. at
Yeah.
Yahoo. Awesome.
And
Thank
so
you.
if you've registered on Eventbrite, we should have your email addresses and we
Oh,
can send out
yeah.
these links and just a copy of the chat afterwards, and maybe the recording for
Mhm.
the whole video. If you haven't registered on Eventbrite, if you want to just pop your email in the chat or on the Facebook thing, or you've got
Oh.
Lucina's contact, yeah, we can definitely get information.
Yeah,
from that.
Lucina has my email. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Lots
yeah.
of options.
Yeah. I should have put it in before, but I forgot, and everybody's like dispersing now, so I just thought I'd rattle it off.
No, that's great. And hopefully we'll be doing more of these soon as well. So
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, we'll just keep everybody posted, you know, on the progress.
Uh-huh.
So,
Okay.
Awesome.
all right.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
thank you
thanks,
all.
everyone.
Thank you
Thanks,
for
Lucina.
Yeah,
coming.
thank you. Thank you.
All right. Bye. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.